What have you been up to this morning?
Work, normal
What are you
stuff.
working on?
I'm working on some strategies for the upcoming new year for our clients already. It's only September, but we're in budget season. Our clients are in budget season, so we're starting to think about next year.
All the monies. All
Right.
right. Well, let me get the business out of the way and tell everyone who you are. So Michelle Keckler is a co-owner of KNC Marketing, where she helps business to business industrial companies. So it's B2B. Is that what they say in the biz?
That's
B2B.
B2B.
Okay. B2B industrial companies build their brands, attract their ideal customers, and boost their bottom line through digital marketing. With over 15 years of experience under her belt, sheesh, it's a long time. Michelle has worked with businesses big and small, from local companies to global giants like Bridgestone Tires and Swiss manufacturer Franke. Michelle leads brand strategy for KNC as well as business development, and she's all about helping clients reach their business goals. When she's not working on her business, Michelle's a wife, mom of two, and her favorite thing to do is to be on the lake with her family. And she was a really great college roommate to yours truly. I've known her since birth, and we're sisters.
We
That
are.
little tidbit in your profile. Um, that's so awesome. Well, in KNC, what would you say, that's a really solid bio, first off.
Think
15 years is a long time. Um, what would you say is like your favorite part of what you do?
I think my favorite part of what I do is helping businesses realize what's possible because, especially in B2B, it seems like you can't market your business like a B2B company that has maybe foot traffic in a building, or they have a product that they sell online. B2B is a completely different marketplace. And I think my favorite part is helping businesses understand, hey, there's a whole toolbox of marketing tactics that you can use to grow your business. And it's different from B2C, but in a lot of ways it's similar. So helping
Hmm.
clients make a plan and start executing that plan and seeing the results of their marketing plans is super rewarding.
Do you think that people come to you not necessarily knowing what they can do in the beginning, like what's possible?
I think what happens is they know they need to be doing something. Like, I know I need to be marketing my business, but I don't know what I need to be doing. And a lot of
Hmm.
times it starts with, I need a new website or I need to be on social media. And then it kind of snowballs into, oh, let's start this. Now that we have a great foundation and a consistent brand, let's start this or start that. And also, once you start seeing the results of your efforts in marketing, it's really a simple decision to say, I know how much I'm spending. I know what I'm getting out of it. Let's put some fuel on the fire and spend a little bit more in this area or that area. Um, and then it kind of snowballs into the next big thing. And over time, what happens is you start this engine and it's running really, really well together, and it's just building more and more momentum as you go. So
Hmm.
that's usually how it goes with our clients.
That's fun. And as far as you leading brand strategy, because you have how many people on your team now?
But
5. So tell me first off, let's backtrack. Um, how did the business start, and how did that lead into you being over brand strategy?
sure. So I fit very well into the corporate cube. I worked for big brands for the first decade of my career, and I really enjoyed it. Once when I had my first child, it became a little bit harder because I wanted to be mom, but I also wanted to be a working mom and have balance and all the things that you think are going to be simple to execute. And then it turned out that it was a lot harder than I thought. And so my business partner and my cousin and your cousin, um, I'll let her tell the real story of, or the whole story of how it started, but she got laid off from her corporate job and kind of convinced me to go freelance. And that was really the original plan, was just to be, two freelance marketers that helped companies of any kind with marketing. And then what happened over the last 5 years is that more and more clients started calling us, and our business grew. We were able to hire, and as part of that, our vision grew, and we really found our niche, which is B2B industrial. So think manufacturing, distribution, material handling, like all the industries that keep America running. And they're kind of behind the scenes a lot of the times, but they're huge and they need just as much marketing help. So um, my intention was not to have a company with a bunch of employees, and but it's turned into that, which is amazing, and such a blessing to our family. And now we're able to provide career opportunities to others. And not only do we have our full team, but we also have a slew of freelancers that help us and partners that we work with. And it's just created a lifestyle that is really rewarding. And we work really, really hard, but we have a little bit more balance in our lives, and we're able to work and have fun, and make really big splashes for these companies that we're an ideal fit for.
It's awesome. Would you say is like the most, because you guys are really working extremely hard, and there's you almost have to continue to keep vision in front of you to continue to move forward. So I would just wonder, like, what is the most rewarding part of what you do that continues to propel you forward?
I think just seeing change in business is exciting. Marketing is always changing. Technology is always changing. Trends are changing. Um, but helping keep our clients in the know of not only what's going on, but saying, hey, we are creating this strategy and this plan for the next 3, 6 months, 9 months, a year. And we're tracking what's happening along the way and helping them maintain focus on here's the route that you need to take, and then constantly checking in saying, how are we achieving our goals, and then setting the next goal. So helping them not lose sight of, oh, this squirrel's happening over here, or here's this, flashy thing that I should do. Sometimes you can't, opportunities arise, you should take advantage of them in marketing. But for the most part, it's really just creating a plan and sticking to it, and creating a budget and sticking to it, or creating some room for those flashy opportunities that come your way, or a sponsorship, or a marketing placement, or marketing ad placement that comes your way. You should have some ability in your marketing budget, but I think helping clients gain focus on how to spend their money and understanding what's working and what's not is probably the best part.
That's so awesome. And as long, like, it's it's so funny because you could go in with like a solid plan and try to execute that plan as best as you can. But I think that sometimes there is no plan that doesn't come like with hiccups, right? So what is something that you see businesses make, like big mistakes or hiccups that you see along the way?
The biggest mistake that I see is that a company will try something for a month or two, whether it's email marketing or social media, or whatever the case may be. They try it for a month or two, and then they just stop and say, oh, it didn't work, or I don't have time anymore. And really the payoff is not going to be in those little fireworks along the way. It's going to be in consistency over time. So the biggest mistake I see B2B and B2C companies make is that they're not sticking with it, whatever it is they're doing, or they don't have a plan. So they're just it's kind of a free for all when it comes to marketing. And so I think the first thing is, if you're going to commit to something, just commit to it for 3 months, 6 months, and actually track what it's doing for your business. And then beyond that, once you're able to stick with something, is like sticking to a larger plan. Once you start to add in more ingredients into the marketing recipe, just keeping it going over time and actually investing in it. I think a lot of companies are afraid to commit a substantial amount of their budget to marketing, which I understand. It can be expensive when we're not only talking about your paid advertising placements, but if you're working with an agency or a freelancer, it can get expensive. But the thing I like to tell my clients is the ideal standard is say 5%. If you are spending nothing on marketing, start with 1% of your total revenue. And then once you are consistent, you're tracking things, increase the budget and then take it step by step. It's not something that you should just go all in on without a plan or a strategy and waste a bunch of money and not be consistent and not stick with it.
So we're talking about plan versus New Year's resolution, like gym vibes for sure.
Exactly.
That's awesome. And so you kind of mentioned, what did you say?
It's not a marketing diet. It's a lifestyle change.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Write that down.
Health reference.
So what is it like with your team? Like, what's the dynamic of your team? Like inside KNC Marketing, like why would a business decide that they need to be working with you?
Mm-hmm. I think what sets us apart is just that we are 100% focused on doing what's best for our client, and we are all bought in on that on our team. And I think the marketing agency world has a bad reputation for lots of smoke and mirrors, not being transparent, lower integrity among some, which is terrible. And coming from the big marketing agencies that I had in my past life working for big brands, I saw a lot of that. And it was really discouraging to see that or to feel that I was being taken advantage of or I wasn't being told the whole truth. And so we've stepped into working with clients over the years. The number one thing that was important to Danielle and I is that we are 100% honest with our clients in terms of like, this is what I truly think is best for you. And this is the plan that we stand by. And so transparency is 100% important with our clients and among our teammates. The way that we just approach working with clients is we're truly creating partnerships that are a win-win for both sides. We're 100% focused on finding the clients that are a right fit for us, and we want clients to feel the same way that we're the right fit for them. And I think for any company that's seeking a partnership with a marketing agency or any other kind of vendor, having that open and honest communication with your partner is really, really important, because that's what's eventually going to lead to sustainable and profitable relationships for both sides. So that's with our clients. And then internally, we have really high expectations for our team, and we all work from home. We're remote. So there is a lot of autonomy in the way we work, but we work really hard and we commit to clients. We give them deadlines. We commit to one another and we say, I'm going to have this done by this date. Can you review it by that date so I can send it to my client by this date? And we stick to those. Just because we work from home does not mean that it's more casual workplace. That we like to have fun and we like to have a great culture, but we set really high expectations and we're accountable to one another. And that has led to a really high level of trust among our team and the partners that we work with. So I think we have a really special thing that's cultivated in our world, is that our teammates trust one another. We enjoy working together. Myself and my cousin partner, we love working together, and that's a great relationship. And that's really important. And the result of that is great work being delivered to our clients, and great long-term relationships with our clients over the years.
And it's like proven itself just with the businesses that have come on board with you all over the years. And switching gears and going back, if you could take yourself back to the very beginning, there's another piece to this. You're an established business now that's been going for years now. And so if you would bring yourself back to the very beginning, what are some things that you've learned along the way just as an entrepreneur that you would share with others that are starting a business, or and just because you've learned a lot through trial and error. And so what are some things you've learned through that?
I think the first thing is when you're starting something, you feel like you have to have all the answers and you have to know how to do it all. And the reality is that you're not going to know, and you're going to have to try things. You're going to have to reach out for help. You're going to have to learn. And so having that open mind of learning is really important, and failure, you want to fail forward. If something doesn't work out, you want to keep going. And for me, I think I have always struggled with imposter syndrome. Like, I'm not good enough, or I don't have what it takes. And I still struggle with that. And so when you're starting something and you're putting yourself out there, it can be really nerve-wracking for somebody that struggles with that confidence to put themselves out there, and kind of being afraid of how other people are going to perceive you, or are people taking me seriously. And as long as you're being true to what you know, and you're a forever learner, and you have that heart of transparency and honesty, I think it eventually turns into something that that works out really well. I still don't know everything I could know, and you're never going to. But I think if, for us, if a client comes to me and says, "Hey, I really want to use this technology, or I really want to try this out. Do you guys do that?" Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is I don't have experience with that. But let me see what I can do to find somebody or a software or something that can help us get where we want to go. And I never tell a client we know everything and do everything in marketing, because it's kind of like you're building a home. If you have a contractor that says they do it all themselves, you should run for the hills, because if you're working with a contractor to build your home, you don't want the same person installing your roof and the plumbing. You want different people. So we are kind of like a general contractor in terms of we build the strategy, and we do some and most of the things. We write content, we build strategy, we are really, really strong in so many areas. But if you come to me and say, I want to create a TV commercial, I'm going to say, awesome. We're going to help you with the strategy. We're going to write the copy. I have a production agency that I partner with to go accomplish that. So it's better to be transparent from the onset of working with a partner or anybody, and just say, here's what I know, here's what I'm good at, and we're going to figure the rest out together.
I think that whether we know it or not, I think that vulnerability takes everyone and puts everyone on the same playing field when we can openly admit that we need some help in areas. I think that there is almost a relational equity that takes place between even in not only individuals, but I think businesses are a bunch of people come together to call themselves a business. So I think when you're able to look at one another and be like, hey, let's figure this out together, there's a team element in that may propel you forward, as opposed to trying to fake it and feel like you can accomplish something and end up with something that is less than great. And you could have started with that from the beginning,
I tell clients all the time, people can see through, but like if you're trying to be something you're not, or you're trying to be like your competitor, people see through it. And so being authentic in yourself, and being honest with yourself, and being honest with your clients or with your brand, and coming to the market, I think it's really the term authenticity is overused. I don't like using that word too much, but I think just being yourself, and as a business owner, being yourself in your business is really important, because people see through it. And in the world today, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and there's a lot of BS. And if you are focused on being that honest, transparent business owner, people are you want people to know, like, and trust you. That's how people just decisions. And the way to do that is by being straightforward with people.
So true. So what is something that you talked about being a life learner? And as we end, I just want to ask, like, what is something that, or something you are learning from right now?
Ooh, something I'm learning this year has been pivotal for me as a leader of people. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I tend to be a bit of a control-minded person. And did you know that about me?
You a boss lady. No.
I tend to try to control everything under my power. And that before this business, I had never led anyone necessarily as in a manager employee relationship. And as we've grown and hired people, it was really hard for me to kind of hand over the reins to my employees. It was a lot harder than I thought because I knew I'm like, this business can't keep growing without help. And then I went for these really smart people who are great creatives, great writers, great project managers. They have so many skills. And I wanted more time so I could go evolve the business and do different things to grow the business. And I realized I wasn't giving them the level of trust that they deserve and the level of autonomy that they deserve. And so this year has been really about learning to give up the reins, let other people flourish. They're going to mess up. I'm going to mess up. And internalizing that was kind of hard because my name's on the business. It matters a lot what work goes out the door and how people are perceiving our business. And, I was talking about like the imposter syndrome and I'm not good enough. It all kind of plays together. But as a leader, I want my team to know that I trust them. They do great work or I wouldn't have hired them. I would never allow something to go out the door that is bad. And so, and my team knows that and they do great work. That's why we all work together in this level of creative work. And so I think the biggest thing for me this year has just been allowing people to do their jobs and having check-ins and support them when they need it and not getting in their way of doing their job.
Yes, that's so good. Because I mean, I think in leadership, you could have, I've heard control or growth and you can't both, but I think that just hit me like sometimes as a leader, we can be in their way, and in the way of them using their strengths.
Exactly. Like I've never been a leader of people. I've been a leader in my positions. I've always been an individual contributor or part of larger teams. And, in the corporate world, you have many masters and you have big budgets and you have all these things that you have to manage. And so I think in any position you can be a leader. But for me, I had never actually had that manager-employee relationship or dynamic. And so this year has been all about just letting people be themselves in their role and letting them grow and learn and mess up. And it's part of it. But I think what's happened in the last year is just that our team has gotten better. Our work has gotten better. We're focused. We have processes that work. And it's just been me kind of learning how to step back and just let people do their job and guide them as needed, but stay out of the way.
So good. What are you going to do with all this free time?
Grow the business. That's not free time these days, but sometimes I miss, what I've found out is that there are people that do things a lot better than I did. And so, that I'm trying to figure out like, what is my role moving forward? I love thinking at a high level for clients. I love meeting with potential new clients and just soaking up information from people that have done it or are smarter than me. And so we'll see.
Crushed your first podcast.
Thanks.
What was I going to say? Where can people find you?
People can find us at kncmarketingagency.com or email me directly at michelle@kncmarketingagency.com.
That's so good.